me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
But I totally agree, because the work that you do has to be rewarding. If it's not rewarding, it's going to be really hard for you to stay in that field. But with Parks and Rec, you have so much involvement that you feel complete. You feel like you're making a change, and I think every human wants to make a change. It makes them feel important. So if you feel important, you're going to keep going.
Welcome back to the Daily Parks and Rec Show from the 2025 GRPA Conference. In this episode, we are joined by Veronica, Duarte, and Dalnik, a newly hired recreation program coordinator already making a big impact in Gainesville's youth athletics. From launching new flag football leagues to building soccer programs ahead of the 2026 World Cup, Dalnik shares how he transitioned from athlete to community leader and why Parks and Rec became his calling. Plus, Veronica dives into the power of connecting with youth and building programs that truly matter. If you're a rising leader in parks and recreation, this conversation will inspire you, motivate you, and remind you why our work creates lifelong impact. Let's dive in.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Today, I have Dalnik, and then as a reminder, I am Veronica. So Dalnik, you want to tell us a little bit about your experience here at GRPA Conference? Is this your first time? Is this your first time here at Jekyll Island?
Yes, so started with Parks and Rec in March. First time I worked with Parks and Rec, so this is my first GRPA. I say a little vacation because that's what my coworkers told me, but it's been fun so far.
Yeah. And you mean March of this year?
March of this year,
Oh
so
my
March
gosh.
2025.
Wow, so you're like fresh, newly
Yep.
into the field.
Mhm.
What got you into it?
I used to work at Boys and Girls Club as a sports leagues director.
Mhm.
I wanted to make the switch from nonprofit to Parks and Rec, just because of the opportunities to grow and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
that's when I made the switch over.
absolutely. And what did you do before Boys and Girls Club?
Before Boys and Girls Club, I was an athlete. Always
Awesome.
playing sports, play sports in school,
Yeah,
play sports in college, and I was like, I want to stay in this. So
yeah,
I was like, it was the right career choice.
exactly. Yeah, and I think that's like the perfect opportunity to lead into my next question. Like sometimes when we're in university, we encounter this like I don't know what to do with where to go. Like I want to, for example, I went to Georgia State University with a background in studio art, and you're thinking like, well, I want to apply these skills and like be an artist and like have gallery shows, but I didn't realize like I can apply these same skills at a rec center or in my case it's a cultural affairs center named the Maple House Arts Center at Cobb County Parks. So my daily job is like finding artists and making sure our gallery walls are always filled, making sure our adult and youth classes have like visual and performing arts classes. So tell us a little bit more about your role.
So basically, I'm a recreation program coordinator.
Mhm.
I run all the youth athletics in Gainesville City. What we do is they hired me on because we opened a new facility. We call it the Coop. It has one multi-purpose field and 5 baseball fields, baseball/softball. And they wanted me to start a flag football program. So this is the first year that we did flag football. We had one co-ed league and one girls league, and the girls are actually, getting into preparation to go to state. So they're pretty excited about first year state for flag football. But
Yeah.
besides that, I just run baseball, softball, flag football, basketball, and then we do a lot of Pee Wee programs.
Yeah.
We try to focus a lot on our younger kids so we can develop them through the program and retain them for years to come. So
Absolutely.
that's the big part of our job.
Yeah, and out of the sports that you named, which one's your favorite? And are you good at it?
I'm a soccer player first, so soccer's been my number one sport.
Mhm.
Basketball is right next to it. Play a lot of basketball, so a lot of the influence of me coming into this work line is because I'm an athlete.
Mhm.
I love football. Never played tackle. Can't
Mhm.
take a hit. Was not for me. So I stick to basketball, flag football. But I enjoy watching every sport.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I tried golfing last night, but
How did that go?
terrible.
Oh yeah, I have. Ask me about aim. non-existent.
Yep, golf is not for me. I gotta get better though, because they play a lot here at the Parks and Rec. So.
Yeah, they really do. It's one of the big ones.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm gonna play a video, and then after it, we're gonna talk about it. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Are you ready to lead the next generation of Parks and Rec? Whether you're a student, intern, or rising leader, welcome to the Young Professionals Network by DPRS Media Co. Our mission? To empower early career professionals in parks and recreation through mentorship, visibility, and real-world leadership development. Our vision? A national network of passionate, prepared, and purpose-driven leaders who shape the future of public service. Starting now. Powered by the Daily Parks and Rec Show, YPN gives you access to exclusive interviews, career-building resources, behind-the-scenes content, and live events, all created by and for the next wave of Parks and Rec professionals. Learn from seasoned directors, build your brand, get involved with national conversations that matter. Whether you're in youth sports, facilities, programming, or policy, YPN is your launchpad. Young Professionals Network, your career, your community, your story.
Okay, so Young Professionals Network. So, Dalnik, if you don't mind sharing your age.
I am 23 years old.
Woo, he's young. Woohoo,
Super
in
young.
the house. And I'm 26. So, how do you feel like being a young professional in the Parks and Recreation field? Like, do you see yourself growing up in this like field and profession and community?
Absolutely. That's why I made the change. I recently got married, so I'm looking for stability, somewhere that I can grow and follow my passion first and foremost. I've always said that I wanted to do something where I could wake up and be happy to do it every day. So Parks and Rec was definitely the right option for me.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. If you were to encounter like a group of college students, like what would you tell them like if they were considering Parks and Rec? Like what are some tips and some advice? Like how would you convince them?
I would tell them to be all in. I mean, if you love sports and it's something that you see yourself doing for the rest of your life, Parks and Rec is definitely the way to go. Just because you get both sides, you get the plan, but you also get to be part of the community. And when you're young, being part of the community is the most important thing. Like if I feel welcome here, if I feel known, I'm gonna stick around. So a lot of people are looking for that after their athletic careers. It's hard for a lot of athletes to bounce back when the sports are over, but the sports are never over. You just got to find a new way to make sure you stay in that community, and Parks and Rec is that option.
Yeah, and I love that you said that because I always was curious, like when there is like that downtime of like I think it's like off season. What do y'all do? What are there other ways that you guys use like either a sport or the property itself, like the field?
Off season for me, I was always looking for more. So like if I was done with basketball season, I'm looking for pickup runs. The older I've gotten, the more my taste has changed. I like volunteering more, so I like coaching other kids. I like training other kids. I like showing up to other kids' games. So that's kind of my way to stay involved now. Since I'm getting a little older now, I can't compete with the young cats, but it's a cool way to do that.
Yeah, and I think the beautiful part about like us being young professionals in the Parks and Recreation field, like we get to connect to the youth that we teach or coach, mentor in a different light. I don't want to say like we see them in a different like perspective than an adult, like an older adult, but we all have different point of views, and I feel like for them, I imagine they find it easier to connect with us because they're like, they're not that much older than me. We both have youthful faces, so they assume we're like in our teens, and we're like, haha, you wish. Well, I wish, but I'm not.
I try to be personable. That's one thing that the first conference that we had today to do was like, hey, I want to be more personable, and I think that's huge in our department because if you're personable, the kids like you, the parents like you, administrators like you, it makes your job a whole lot easier. And obviously, there's gonna be people who are always gonna rub off the wrong way with your personality or something. But as long as majority of the people get along and see you as a figure they could trust in and confide in, then I think you'll be good.
Yeah, because our key role is basically customer service at the end of the day. Like, so if we can, foster that sense of family, community, accessibility, inclusion, we're all good to go. Yeah. So I'm going to play another video for you. and then we can talk about that.
Gotcha.
Every career is a choice, but few careers let you touch lives. Not once in a while, but every single day. Step into a park on a Saturday morning. You'll hear children laughing on the soccer field, families gathering for a picnic, seniors walking the trails, finding health and friendship. And behind every smile, every memory, is a Parks and Rec professional. We don't just mow fields, we grow confidence in young athletes. We don't just build playgrounds, we create safe spaces where childhood thrives. We don't just plan events, we design moments that anchor generations. Think of the coach who teaches patience, the director who champions equity, the staff member who sees potential in a child no one else believed in. Every day, Parks and Rec professionals shape character, preserve beauty, and strengthen community. And the path isn't easy. Budgets are tight, resources stretched thin, but the reward, unmatched. Because what you give comes back in legacy, in healthier communities, in lives forever changed. So why dedicate your life to Parks and Recreation? Because here, your work never ends. It lives on, in laughter echoing across playgrounds, in green spaces preserved for the next century, in the young professionals rising to lead tomorrow. This is not just a career, it's a calling, it's a legacy, it's Parks and Recreation. A message from the Parks and Rec community.
All right. So what did you think about the video? Do you agree? Why? What are your thoughts?
Completely agree. Every time I watch these videos, I get like super motivated for some reason. I think it's the music, but I totally agree because the work that you do has to be rewarding. If it's not rewarding, it's going to be really hard for you to stay in that field. But with Parks and Rec, you have so much involvement that you feel complete. You feel like you're making a change, and I think every human wants to make a change. It makes them feel important. So if you feel
Absolutely.
important, you're gonna keep going.
Yeah, yeah. And what is something that you did at your center with Gainesville that like just makes you really, really proud? Like I know you've only been there since March, but like what has been like a very impactful like either like event or program or moment between you and a patron?
So I was working with Boys and Girls Club before, about 2 years before Gainesville Parks and Rec, and I always wanted to do a high school soccer futsal tournament. So futsal is the version of indoor soccer. It's a heavier ball. It's a little bit more fast paced.
Okay.
Rules are different. I always wanted to do kind of like we have a Lanier Land tournament, which is a basketball tournament where all the schools in Lanier compete against each other. But I wanted to do that for soccer.
Okay.
Never got the opportunity to do it with Boys and Girls Club, but when I came to Parks and Rec, it was one of my first projects. And we got 3 schools. Slow start, but we had 4 teams. We had 2 Gainesville high school teams, 1 East Hall team, and 1 West Hall team. It was the first time that we ever did anything with teens at Parks and Rec. Because a lot of the time, at 12 years old, we kind of
like the cutoff.
see you later after high school. But I think that was the biggest event for me so far, just because it was something that came from my heart, and I had the opportunity to put it on paper, and from paper to put it into action. And a lot of teams are going to be there next year. So
that's amazing.
It's grown from 3 teams. I've already had high schools in the area that initially didn't reach out, that saw how the tournament went. They saw the videos, they saw the pictures, word of mouth, and it's going to be huge next year. So
that's amazing.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I bet you are. And that was something that they didn't have before.
Yeah, so we don't have any soccer programs until this year. So this year, I started the futsal tournament, and then we just made a couple teams to join the futsal league for our younger kids. So since we got the new turf field, we're trying to develop that soccer program into something big. Since the Hall County area and Gainesville specifically has a big population of soccer, so just trying to take advantage of that and provide good quality programs for the city.
Absolutely. And I think this is exactly the right time, especially with the World Cup coming around in 2026. So, soccer is going to be all of in media and all of that.
Mhm.
And so speaking of that, what kind of platforms do y'all usually like use to like get the word out?
So we started a adult pickup soccer too at the new turf field that we have. Um, and a lot of time I like to talk to them as they come in, kind of
Mhm.
create that relationship so they keep coming. And the first question is like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then I follow up like, "How'd you find out about it?"
Mhm.
Because we hosted our first one last week.
Oh,
A
wow,
lot
that
of
was recent.
Oh yeah, it's pretty recent. So we're starting a lot of new programs. We're excited to kick off these projects. But I asked them on their way in, like, "Hey, how'd you find out about our program?" A lot of them said Facebook. So
Mhm.
Facebook seems to be like a good platform for us to sponsor.
Mhm.
But we're hoping to get into Instagram. But the key with Instagram is, getting the good videos. Like people like those good quality content videos.
Exactly.
And once they find out it's in the area, I mean, for our first session ever with no background in soccer, we
Mhm.
had 30 adults show up. First time
Wow.
ever. So we're projecting to have upwards of 35
Yeah.
this upcoming Friday.
That's awesome. And is there like a prize to participate or?
So the way we wanted to gauge the community was basically the first two sessions that we were going to offer are free. So
Oh,
they get to
wow.
come out, they get to play soccer from 6 to 9 p.m. for free. Something that you don't hear of very often,
No, yeah.
especially with a new turf field with the lights on at night. So
You're
we
getting a little
got people,
spoiled.
yeah, we got them in, and once we get them in, that's how we hope to retain them. Because now moving forward, after the second session, we just tell them, hey, if you really enjoy the program, we gonna keep doing it, but now
Yeah.
it's a $5 entry. And most people don't mind paying $5 for once a week to play soccer, especially in a community where there's no accessibility to fields. $5 is nothing.
Yeah, that's pretty low
Yep.
for like a standard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like you said, make it accessible. So thank you so much, Dalnik, for your time, for speaking with me. I hope the rest of GRPA conference goes very well for you. And shout out to the Puerto Ricans because he told
Oh
me
yeah.
off.
Boricua, Bobby.
Let's go. All right. Well, bye everyone.
You guys.
Are you a vendor, brand, or service provider ready to connect with the heartbeat of local communities? At DPRS Media Co., we tell the stories shaping parks and recreation across America. Through podcasts, live streams, videos, and newsletters, we reach frontline leaders, city directors, and decision makers every single week. From youth sports and facilities to programming and policy, our audience is your audience. Sponsoring or partnering with DPRS Media Co. puts your brand in front of the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. Launching a new product? Growing your presence in public spaces? Targeting cities, counties, or departments? DPRS is your trusted media partner. Whether you're in software, turf, aquatics, robotics, smart cities, or special events, partnering with DPRS puts your brand in the story. With commercials, interviews, social campaigns, newsletters, and live shows, we're your media team. Partner with us and grow your impact in the $200 billion parks and rec industry. DPRS Media Co. Stories that move parks and rec forward. Your audience is here. Let's meet them.